All right. I'm not sure if I can hear people. Let's see. All right. I hope I'm audible. Um uh, all right. I think I am. I feel like I can it's coming through. Sweet. Uh so excited for this second live stream in 2 weeks. Little out of uh, um a little out of a schedule here because usually I do the Montreal Roses. Well, I say usually, it's only been a week, but the plan is to do all the Montreal Roses streams since I'm a big Roses fan. Um, and uh, and that's the plan. But this week, I saw that there was no stream for the Halifax Tides game. Oh, hey, Minky. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for letting me know as well that you can hear me. That's really, I really appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for joining. And I was just saying that I'm usually planning to do the Roses streams. It's still early days, so again, that's just a plan that I'm thinking of. But I noticed that there was no stream, at least the streaming part. It's on TV today's game, the Tides versus Wild game. So I noticed that since there was no streaming, I might as well do it for the Tides. Since I'm from Montreal, might as well give some support to the my eastern neighbors. So that's the plan. I don't know, Minky, if you're a Wild fan or a Tides fan. Either way, really, really appreciate joining, and good luck to your team. Um, I think the game's still the stream hasn't started, at least for me yet. So I'm gonna just set up a couple of things here while we get to it. Just give me 1 second. It has been a challenge, to be honest, this game, to get hold of a good broadcast. It's a little unfortunate, not super surprising, but unfortunate, um, that especially given that it's the first Tides game, they really should have been putting this on streaming as well as TSN. TSN has this. Thankfully, I have TSN, which is good. But it would have been very nice of them to have it on, um, streaming as well, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'm looking through some of the uh, updates that we're getting. Wild has released um, its squad, its roster for the day. It's very similar to the first week. If anyone hasn't followed that first week, in goal we have Bukovic, who was in goal last week as well. The black back four is pretty much the same. I think it's Storty on the left back. Sorry, right back. Ali Green on left back. Rolfsema and Moore being center backs. Exactly the same back line as last week. We'll get into some of the more player details, which I'm very, very excited to learn more about Wild. I didn't really watch the full game last week for Wild because of Roses, but I want to definitely go into it. Uh, we have Stewart. And Stewart's coming in for O'Neill in the midfield, which I want to see how she lines up. And Savitsky and Howard make up the midfield, and Johnson, Griffith, and Thurton comes in. So Johnson, Griffith have played last game, whereas Thurton comes in for Christy Gray this time. So those are some changes. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, I'll just make sure that the stream is up and running for at least on the game feed. Give me a second here. Um, let's see. Hulu stream hasn't started, which is interesting. Um, Let me see if I can get. Maybe it's on TSN1. Yep. Yeah. Oh, there you go. TSN1. Perfect. I think we should. They're still doing the pregame, so we'll give it a minute here while for it to start. So yeah, I think the two major changes that I'm seeing on the field for Wild, I don't see any a squad yet for Tides yet. So we'll get to that as soon as they get a squad out at some point. But for now, for the Wild, the big two changes I see is Christy Gray is out. I want to see why. We'll get some updates on why she's out. Though I do, there is a good chance it's because of the quality of play. Because Turton was really good in the first game. When she came on in the second half, I really enjoyed her, her runs that she was making into the box from the right hand side. So maybe that's why Bedford went with her. But yeah, we'll see. So that was the first big change, and the other big change is in midfield, which is Sarah O'Neill. Sonia O'Neill is out. That doesn't seem like it's a performance-based thing. She was pretty good. I think the midfield did relatively well last time, so I'm not entirely sure. Um, but Stewart has come in. Taken Stewart has come in. She's one of the twins in the Wild team. I wanna go more into that. The twins and everything they've done. It's a great story in general. Uh, uh, in that sense, but yeah, that's what we're hearing. For the time being, I think the Tides have not put out in a squad. I'm checking their social media to see. Oh, there he goes. All right, we do have a starting 11. As expected, McLeod is starting in goal. No surprise, no surprises. But she is 42, so man, she's like maybe 4 years older than the next older player in the whole league. So good for her. Also, but I want to see how far, how long she's able to keep it up, and she's able to, lead. I do think that they're gonna have an understudy. I think Annika is probably gonna be an understudy, but we'll see. So she's in goal. The back four is gonna be, I think, I'm gonna actually. They haven't put it as a formation, so I'm gonna read it out as they've put it. Like so, Marika Gray, you got Sarah Olai. Sarah Olai is a defender there. Oduro, Christabel Oduro, she's the striker. You have Gunny Jonstotir, who's the captain. She's in midfield. You got Sarah Miller. Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting her to be in the starting 11. Sarah Miller is starting most likely midfield, I'm guessing. Kylie Norkis, she's most likely left back. Addie Wikers, I think she's center back, if I'm not mistaken. Megumi Nakamura, midfield. She's probably going to play left wing. We'll find out very soon. Um, Eva Fremont. Eva Fremont, again, very promising player. Also, I was expecting her to start, I think, right back. And Sid Kennedy. I think that's the other big unexpected one. So Sarah Miller and Sid Kennedy are the two I feel I did not plan for. And the ones that I thought would come in was Millie Clegg. She's coming in from NWSL, which is interesting that she's not even on the bench. So which is worth looking at. I want to understand why. So Millie Clegg is one unexpected exclusion, and I was expecting Karima Lemire or Lemire in midfield to also be included, but she isn't. So those are the two misses that I am seeing, but at the same time, it's their first game. It's their absolute first game. I'm looking at the scenes here right now. It's all sky blue smoke through the whole place. And man, the weather out here, I think it's the same weather in Halifax today as well. But the weather's been pretty, not the best. Not the best. Let's just say that. It's been raining. We were at the Montreal half marathon earlier this morning, and it was one of the more, you know, tougher days to run. And so I can imagine these players going out there to play for the next 90 minutes. So I'm very glad that all these people have shown up. So yeah, they're showing the starting lineup for the Tides, as we said: McLeod in goal, Norkis, Wikers, Olai, and Fremo the back line, Gue, Jones Dottir, Nakamura in midfield. Nakamura is in midfield, interesting, and then Sid Kennedy, Oduro, and Sarah Miller make up the front three. So they're going in with a 4-3-3, and which will be interesting to see how they transition for sure. So Sid Kennedy comes in, and then you have Sarah Miller instead of Millie Clegg. Um, Very interesting changes. I would be very interested to see why they are. But so in the meantime, Calgary has put their lineup in, and it's Callie Johnson, Griffith, Thurton. Thurton is the big change, as I mentioned, the top line there. Midfield, Tegan Stewart is the big change. Savitsky and Doherty Howard are the regular starters. You have the exact same defense as last game. You have Ali Green, Roltsma, Moore, and Storty, and Bukovac in goal. So exact same, defense that they have. And but on top of that, there are two changes. The subs, I'd say, Box and Sonia. Actually, Sonia O'Neill is in the subs, so it is a performance-related change that O'Neill has been sat down. I am still very intrigued why they sat her down, but we'll see over the time, over the game duration of the game, why she did that. But we'll see. Um, Same referee as the first game. The first, I think, the Vancouver Wild game that we had last Wednesday is the exact same referee. It was very interesting. I saw a lot of comments about how many cards she put out. Also, I just realized it's already 1-0 Halifax on my screen, which is obviously not true. So I'm gonna change that. Give me 1 second. Uh, that would be a little biased. Though I mean, you'll probably see over time that that's not the only time I'm biased. I am pretty biased when it comes to if my Roses are playing, but they're not playing. There's no need for bias right now, so it's back to 0-0. Sorry about that. All right, let's go back to our stream here. Yeah, I think the game's kicked off already. So let me just go back here. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I think the two major things I'm looking forward to is trying to see if Wild can keep their shape. They were really, really, disciplined against the Vancouver Rice, except for their right hand side, which kept getting beat by Ward. And I wouldn't blame them for that entirely. Ward was an absolute uh, star in that first game, so it's not as much as the Wild being bad. It was more Ward being Ward. And I mean, I would say she is one of the biggest stars to look forward to this season. So I'm not entirely surprised, or I'm not gonna blame Wild for that. So, but apart from that left hand side problem or right hand side wing problem that they had, they were pretty good. So I want to see how they shape up this game. So I think it's the Halifax Tides who have a long ball kick, and it is a goal. It's an absolute shocker of a start. What an unbelievable start for the Tides. The Tides didn't even have to turn. Like they're rising right away. That was a very interesting play. They had a free kick from around the 30-yard area. It didn't go directly into the box, played it down, and then the player within the box played it in across the face of goal. And it was Moore who was at the right time at the right place. Oh my God! Terrible defending by the Wild. I have to say, she was completely unmarked. It was not just Moore. I think there was another player who was unmarked right behind her. So if Moore had missed it, it would have still gone in. So terrible defending. But man, if I'm a Tides fan, I'm watching the game in the stadium, the first game ever, within 2 minutes. Brilliant, brilliant start, brilliant for the fans. Great, great, spectacle for NSL. So though also I think this is gonna go Tides. Yeah, Oriana. I mean, I can imagine the excitement. Like first game in history, and you score within two. This is exactly what happened with us Roses last week. We were so freaking excited, and within 2 minutes, I couldn't believe my eyes. So I can imagine what you are probably feeling as well. Though in the meantime, Wild have somehow gotten to their side. That was quick, man. Okay, they've gotten to the other side of the field uh, on the Tides third, and they've got a corner to put it in. It's a ping pong ball over there in the box, cleared out, but then yeah, it's it didn't get put back in pretty well. So, anyways, it's out for a goal kick. Yeah, yeah, it's always great to be leading right at the. What's the score? Thank you for reminding me, Miriam. It's 1-0 to the Tides, and I should be updating this. I'm obviously also a noob at this, so I'm glad that people are keeping me uh, accountable. So I think it should be updated now on the screen. It's 1-0 to the Tides, and I think it's. Let me just see if I can update the scorer. Moore ended up scoring that goal from a header. So I hope now we can see it all on the screen. Also, I need to update the Reddit thread. I don't know if any of y'all are also Reddit members, like our community. Uh, just a big shout out, by the way. That community is really fun. I'm just really glad to see everyone being and oh, sorry, I missed that. That was a great ball in by the Wild from the right hand side wing into the box, but it didn't get put on goal, unfortunately. That was Doherty Howard who put the ball in, but yeah, Nakamura. I think it's yeah. No, I'm not sure if it was not who put the shot on goal in there, but it was Doherty Howard who put the ball in though. Um, Damn, quite a chaotic start, I have to say. It's in the midfield right now, being played around. Though I will say, based on what I'm seeing, with the 4-3-3 that Tide have started with, they are able to spread the field out. They're able to spread Wild out a little bit because Wild, at least based on last game, plays 4-1-2. Well, they play technically they play 4-2-3-1, but they have one midfielder that drops very deep. So last game it was Sonia O'Neill who dropped very deep, and then Savitsky and Megan Doherty Howard were playing much more up, and were supporting the attackers. I want to see how Tegan Stewart will instead play. It'll be an interesting change. So because they're playing that formation, they're much more compact in the middle. While it worked pretty well last time, I would say with the Rise, except for that goal, which was a penalty, which was created by Ward, I think they did a pretty decent job being pretty compact. So we'll see. Right now, it's Tides again with a corner, puts the ball in, not past the first defender though. It should have been a lot better that corner. So oh no, that was again Tides. That corner gets cleared off from the first person out of the box, comes out and comes out to the player at the front, at the top of the box, and she just takes a kick, and it just goes through like 5 players. Not sure who took that shot though, and it just like goes through 5 different players. That's Framo, I think. Oh my God, Tides! What a start! 2 goals in 4 minutes, and I would say while they've been caught off guard, they're once again lost the ball. They try to play a long ball through. They've and the Tides have got the ball back, and they're attacking once again. Really, the Wild have really not got a hold of the ball in midfield at all. They've lost it again in midfield. This is crazy. This is they really are out of their depth right now in terms of trying to figure out what to do. So they need to slow the game down here. It's working in Tide's favor. Well, meantime, I'm gonna update the score here as well. That was, I think, Miriam. That was, yes, I will update the score here. I don't think it was technically an own goal. We'll get an update on the official website. It was basically a shot through, and I didn't see a touch. You guys can correct me if you saw something else, but I definitely didn't see a touch going in. Man, I I know, Rihanna. I wish. I think it's ESPN Plus has the game, but as we all know, that's not help, and that's not any help at all. So I definitely empathize with that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I decided to do the game today instead of tomorrow, the Roses game, because I thought it would be a much more of a help. All right, another free kick from 30 yards out comes into the box, but yeah, this again. Sorry, this was for Tides, but once again, couldn't get converted. But that was a decent chance being created by Tides. Meanwhile, the Wild have gotten the ball back, but are really struggling to make anything off of it. It was just a ball carried on the right wing, which eventually got stolen away back from by the Tides. So the possessions, I would say the possessions right now almost 90% with the Tides, with the Wild really not being able to do anything. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out the players here so that I can see the structure of what they're doing. So it thinks Stewart is on the midfield there. Um, they really should have streamed it. That's correct. Is the Wild is not winning right now? Hey, the game's very early. It's only 10 minutes, believe it or not. But yeah, Holly. Unfortunately, the Wild is trailing 2-0. Oh wait. I know. Let me let me change my score. Why am I saying the wrong things? Obviously, I got the color wrong. Oh, I see. They're wearing the wrong. They're wearing the away kits. That's why I got the entire. So I'm actually not listening to the commentary there. So that's why. Let me switch this off. I really apologize, folks. Um, it's the other way around. And that explains that Moore did score on the other side. So sorry about that. Yes, Wild did score twice. It's the other way around. Man, that was embarrassing. But yeah, I think that was more because of the fact that the colors are completely opposite. I was expecting the Wild to be, you know, yeah, that's right. It is the color. They're wearing their away kit. Come on, Wild. Why are you wearing sky blue? Yeah. Why are you wearing sky blue Tide colors? Anyways, this is what happens when you're watching a game like a team for the first time ever in Tide. So, but again, I should not be blaming it on them. Yeah, sorry about that. So, it's definitely uh, but I think it still does apply that that in this case the Tides really have not gotten the ball at all. Even now, I mean, even now, while they're just playing through them, it's in the back here. Um, Moore and Rolsma are playing it at the back, but they've kind of settled down a little bit. They're not playing it back instead of continuously playing it up, which is which is expected, I would say. But they definitely need to. Uh, I'd say this works a little bit in the Tides' favor. They're slowing the game down, the Wild, which is gonna work a little bit in the Tides' favor. But at some point, the Tides have to get the ball back. They really should get the ball back. Um, yeah. Let me confirm all the scores so that we are level set. Give me 1 second. The Tides are playing the ball from the bat from their back. So meanwhile, we'll update some of the things here. Crazy start to the game though. NSL website has more and oh, it was Doherty Howard who scored the other goal. Okay, that makes sense. So I'll update that. Doherty Howard. Still being played in the midfield. Really not much going on. Yeah, I think the Tides are really struggling to really do anything with the ball when they get it, which is very rare. Meanwhile, we have an injured player in the box. I think it's Green, Ali Green of the Wild. I kind of hit her in the face, flush on the face. I think. Oh no, it's Green's checking in on her. It's actually Moore, Michaela Moore, who's down. Okay, I think they're taking a water break. I'm gonna take a small, not break, but like I'm gonna level set and make sure that I've got all the um, details right. So Doherty Howard scored, and then Moore scored as well. So I'm gonna change that over from the left side to the right side, so that we're not, or I am not, hallucinating that the Tides. Maybe it's just me being too biased, which, as I mentioned, can happen often with me that I'm biased, even if it's not the Roses game. Maybe I'm too biased today to the Tides. Maybe that's what's happening. Uh, but it it should say the right things at this point. I'm just gonna update the times. Let's see. The other thing I would say is even this happened last game as well, which is I really wish that um, they had put the teams out a little earlier, which gives me a little bit more time to kind of get hold of all the things, like the formations and the obviously the colors because I'm evidently colorblind. So things like that. I really wish there was more. Um, there was uh, more of a heads up for these things. I'm sure it'll happen over time. But okay, the ball's pretty much being played in the third of the Tides, but right now the Tides have got the ball back, so they're playing it up, and they're being very efficient when they get the ball. Um, the Wild, they have been able to create and pass through the midfield of the Tides, which I think there's a big problem with Jones Dotier and Sid Kennedy playing together in that midfield three, which they need to sort out a little bit. But yeah, the Wild have been very effective in the midfield till this point. So we'll see. So the Wild have a corner again on the right hand side, which right now is being I think Howard and Thurton are playing on the right hand side. So we'll see. Yes, go the Wild. It is quite the start, I have to say. Quite the start. Oh, sure. I think uh that's a good question, Yam. I did not plan for it, but I can. I mean, I'm looking at the lineups here. I mean, I can probably just share my screen of the official NSL website. Though going forward, I could also put a graphic because I have a graphic in my on paper which I'm looking at so that I can find out. But if it helps you, I can put that on screen. Not sure if that's going to be helpful. It's basically from the NSL website. Let me know, and I can definitely try that. And moving forward, I'll definitely put like a graphic. If that helps everyone, I can put a graphic on screen, which says the starting 11 for both teams and the players. Let me see. I have an image that I can take and share. Let's see. Give me 1 minute. In the meantime, you're not missing too much. The Wild had a corner, though that which they kind of put it over the top of the goal, so it didn't really go much. Um, I'm just trying to get a better view of the starting lineups for the folks here. Let's see. Yes, absolutely. I'll make sure that we'll have a graphic up so that maybe I guess that'll help people who are probably not listening in and they're just like it's on the screen. It might help them to visualize what's going on. I'm guessing. But yeah, let me see if I can add something here. So by the way, so since this is just a very quick idea for people. This is the starting lineup for um let's see. Yeah, I guess hopefully people can see it. It's the starting lineup for the Wild. It's the exact same lineup as last time. You have Bukovic in goal and you have Ali Green, uh Rolsuma, Moore, and Stordy in the back. If O'Neill is out, by the way, today, she's replaced by Tegan Stewart, whereas the other two, Savitsky and Howard are there, still playing. And then the top, also Johnson and Griffith are playing, but Thurton comes in for Gray. Those are the changes we have for Wild. Yes, I am interested in how Ali Green plays this game. She was very impressive last game, but I was a little bit worried for her the way Rice was attacking. The Vancouver Rice was attacking on the wings. So let's see. I'm definitely looking forward to her having an even more impressive game today. Um, so that's the starting 11, and the it doesn't show the formation, but that's the starting 11 for the Wild, and the one for this is the one for um the Tides. So the main thing again, McLeod starts in goal. You have Norkus, Vikers, Olai, and Fremo starting in defense. Jon Stotir. And the main change that I thought was surprising was Sid Kennedy is starting in midfield alongside Jon Stotir and Marika Gue. And you have Nakamura, uh, Oduro, and Seorla playing up top. I think Nakamura and Kennedy are gonna switch often. Gonna switch in that midfield and up top. But yeah, Oduro is also obviously an obvious starter. But the other big starter I think is Sarola Miller. Uh, I was expecting Millie Clegg to play, but she isn't playing. I don't think she is on the bench either, which was interesting. But that's just a quick update. But thanks for the feedback. I will definitely try to see if I can have like a pitch map from next time, so that if there's a goal, kind of like what we see on Google. I think that's probably what we're thinking of when we search for games on Google. It shows you a pitch map. So hopefully I can not hopefully I can easily put that in. It just needs a little bit of prep work. So hopefully that helps. I'll just leave this here so that people can see a little bit. Sweet. Okay, back to the game. I think I want to just go a little deeper into the sides as they play. So right now, the Wild has the game, and they're playing it through the midfield. So maybe we can start with the Wild and the way they're playing. They are pretty much playing a similar formation as last time. The foreign defense is what I'm seeing. Um, at they have they were playing, as I said, 4-1-2 and then a 3. Four and then a defense, the sitting midfielder in front of the defense, and then 2 attacking midfielders, and then 3 strikers. Last time, this time they have not got that sitting um, midfielder in O'Neill. So they are doing a little bit more of a shuffle between Savitsky and Tegan Stewart. That is something to look at, though it's hard to know right now because they're doing a set piece from about the 40-yard line, I would say. Man, Moore is having a tough game. It looked like a head injury. She was down, as I was saying earlier, and now she's getting checked again on her eyes. I'm not sure why, but yeah, she's having a tough game for sure, uh, in a few ways. But she's a huge part of the Wild, so I hope it doesn't affect her too much. Okay, Jordy Howard's gonna take the free kick. She is on the ball, puts it in straight into the box, about the 6 yard point. It kind of comes down to the Wild, and it's a shot, and it's a goal. It's a shot and a goal. I think it it is more. Yeah, more again. Man, what a great Moore's having a good, interesting day for sure. She Oh, wait, no, it's Johnson. It's yeah, it's Collie Johnson. It's Johnson. So the ball comes into the box, kind of jumps around on the heads of a few players, falls to Johnson, wide open, and just a straight shot. That the goalie couldn't have done anything on that. Yeah, I think Moore. I thought it was Moore because Moore was right next to Johnson. She was going to take it, but it wasn't. It was Johnson. Absolute bullet of a shot. I mean, it's hard at that range. The goalie really can't do anything, so it's not on McLeod at all. So that's man. This might actually become a little, little hard for the Tide here. They are now 3 goals down, and yeah, I think from what we see, 2 of the 3 goals have been from set pieces, and so that's not helping. Okay, so the Tides have got the ball here. They're from the left hand side wing. Uh, yes, first of many. She was very good last game too. So I really liked Wild's attack last game. The Thurton, when she came in, and then once in the second half, the attack was much better. So we'll see how it pans out today. I'm glad that they started third and on the right hand side. Okay, Tides have a corner from the left hand side. They put the ball in, but not a great header. Not a great header. That was free header. Yeah, there was some pressure, but that was a free header. Come on, that could have been at least put. She could have put it on the goal. But it kind of went away. But anyways, um, Johnson at a 26-minute goal. Great start. Yes, yeah, Marty. That's very true. That is very true. You can see that difference in rapport between the players. And as I say that once again, while they're wilding, man. They're on the ball pretty much every time I look up, which they are right now. And Moore gets the ball, steps up and puts the ball up to Thurton on the right hand side. Great ball, great through ball to Thurton. Thurton gets still with Thurton on the right hand side, puts the ball in, but McLeod this time does a pretty good job. Yeah, no, that is so true. The rapport between the players are very. That's a big difference between the Tides and the Wild right now. I'm hoping that the Tides can actually work on it, and maybe the one or two games they'll have now will give them that same kind of um, bonding and game time rapport that they really badly need right now. I want to see how the Wild no, sorry, the Tides are playing, but I can't because the Wild are back at it again and they're in Tides box. They're still playing around them on the right hand side. I do like how Stordy kind of goes pretty high on the right hand side for the Wild, though she did struggle a little bit tracking back. So I'm not a big fan of that. Like you're right back. You do need to. Your first job is to be covering the defense. It's great that if you can make runs, but you really need to cover back. So, which I didn't see a lot of from Stordy last time. But anyways, so the way the Tides are playing, I'm trying to look at how the three players are playing around each other. So let me just see. Okay, again, I'm looking up, and we have the Wild with the ball. They're spreading out the Tides quite a bit. It's on the left hand side now with Johnson once again. They're really able to spread out the Tide quite a bit. Hmm. There you go. Great ball for Sid Kennedy to the left hand side. Finally, they've got a good ball in the Tide. Sid Kennedy does a pretty good job of bringing the ball into the box, but not a great cross. Not a great cross. But that was really good attempt by Kennedy. She carried the ball pretty well. So they definitely need more of that. They need a lot more of the midfield connecting with their wingers, Kennedy and Miller on this side. But this time, that was the first time I've seen some kind of repo there. Um, the tier gets takes the corner, but once again, the header is off by the Tide. So I think that's the other thing the two teams right now. The difference I'm seeing is with set pieces. Wild, the two of the three goals have come from set pieces, and they've been incredibly good with that. Whereas the Tide, I've seen at least now three or four corners from the same side, and it has not worked out for them. So it really is not something that uh, is going to help when you're trailing by 3-0. You need to really make your set pieces count. All right, so we got Norcus on the left hand side for the Tide, puts the ball in, but it goes out for a goal kick. Yeah, so I think that I'm focusing on the Tide right now and trying to see how the formation is. Norcus is playing on the left hand side in defense as a left back. You have Bakers and Olai center backs, and Fremo on the right hand side. Uh, they are playing a three in midfield. They don't have possession. I mean, as always, I think that's been the trend till this point. They don't have possession, but in when they're not in possession, um, Sid Kennedy is falling into the midfield, and they're playing a 4-4-2. Um, and so the four in midfield, you have Jones Sotier, Sid Kennedy, Nakamura, Sid Kennedy, and Mariko Gui. The problem is Yun Stotir and Mariko Gui aren't seeing the ball at all. They're being played around in midfield quite a bit. And it does help that the Wild's sitting midfielder is mostly Doherty Howard, and Doherty Howard really is able to play a good pivot. I mean, Doherty Howard, with the experience she has, it's very I mean, it's very expected that she's able to dominate this game so well. It's just a clinic at this point. Um, Once again, the Tide really can't go beyond their defensive line. They're either playing it within themselves in the defense, or once they try to go up, it just doesn't go anywhere. Okay, Nakamura gets the ball in the midfield and plays it to Sid Kennedy, but not a bad shot. Not a bad shot, but straight at the keeper. Uh, I do think she can do better with the time that she had, but not a bad shot. She took a touch and just shot, but right at the keeper. So again, not a bad couple of plays that Tide has been able to put together. Nakamura finally is getting some time on the ball in the midfield, and let's see. All right, so I think we have another injury. So I'm gonna try to learn a little bit more uh, about the Tide, because I am a little bit new to the Tide. I was looking at some of the players, and it was interesting. Like there was one player actually from Montreal. Karima Lemire is from Montreal. She went to UCAM actually, which is like right next to my where I live. Which was really nice to see. Someone from someone so local being able to play uh pretty much in her backyard. I would say that's great. She's been to Germany. Played in Portugal. She's played internationally as well. She's played with Canada under, I think, under 17. Um, even the under 17 World Cup, Karima Lemire. So I was expecting her to start, which is surprising that she hasn't. But we'll see. Anyways, Wild has the ball outside of the box of Tide. Then again, shot from outside the box by Doherty Howard, but this time off a little bit off target. It was not a bad shot. It just sailed a little bit away about the goal. Um, but yeah, Doherty Howard's really bossing the game here. She is dropping deep to collect the ball from the defense and then playing around the midfield, really. Once again, Storty for the Wild on the right hand side. That right hand side really is bothering the Tide. They're not able to. They're not able to, you know, deal with that right hand side that well. I wonder. So on the right hand side, it's Norcus and Jones Stotier for the Tide. So I wonder if they might want to change something on that side. Norcus or I mean, Joe Sortier is the captain, so they're not going to change anything there. But Norcus, they might want to give her some help. We'll see. Once again, Tide gives away a free kick in their half, about 40 yards away. That's like the fifth set piece I've seen that the Wild have gotten, and maybe the third or fourth of them, the third or fourth free kick itself. They converted two of them. So this is definitely not good. Doherty Howard's on the ball again. Um, she's most likely going to take it. I'm sure. Um, Ali Green's on the ball too, by the way. I'm curious if she's going to take it. She might take a in swinging ball. And yeah, oh nope, never mind. Well, Doherty Howard plays for Ali Green. It was like a maybe a training pitch routine, which didn't really work out. It just rolled out for a goal kick, which was a wasted opportunity to be honest. On the Wild side, um, they should have really put the ball in. Yeah, it's a wasted chance. Anyways, yeah, we're almost getting to the half here, and the story has been mainly two things I'll take away. One is really uh Tide struggling with the midfield. They're not able to get the ball in midfield. I think Unstotier and Marika Gray have been almost, you know, they've disappeared. They have not really seen the ball a lot. And part of it is because the Wild have been able to dictate the game mainly through Doherty Howard and Savitsky in midfield, really, bossing the game almost. And what that means is they ended up having multiple set pieces, uh, like three or four of them in like about a 30-yard distance, and two of them got converted for goals. So if Tide needs to change something, they really need to give their defense some help, and when they get the ball in midfield, try to play a lot better in terms of ball possession. They need to pass around, maybe spread the ball around instead of going vertical all the time and losing the ball. Whereas, which I think will also help with their set piece problems because they won't keep giving away fouls in their half, and the ball will at least keep moving. Right now, they're just not even getting the ball half the time, and then they end up conceding fouls. From a Wild perspective, I really don't think they need to change much. They're doing really well. Um, Maybe one thing that I would I would change a little bit is um give Sarah Griffith a little bit more time on the ball. She has been pretty good, but she hasn't really gotten much involvement. So maybe get her involved a little bit more, which will help her confidence. Will help. Not that she needs it. She is pretty experienced. She's a talented player, but like it'll be useful for her to kind of get on the ball more. Johnson and Thurton have been pretty much doing most of the heavy lifting and offense. Once again, Wild has the ball, playing it around. Tide could actually learn from what Wild is doing. They are really spreading the field out. They're going from the left to the right through the midfield and spreading out the defense and the midfield four of of the Tide, which creates a lot of spaces. So yeah, I am. That's exactly right. They're pretty much controlling the game. There's really I would love to see the possession stats on this one at the halftime. I want to say it's maybe like 15 sorry, yeah, 15% Tides and like, 85% Wild. It would be something wild. I feel like I'm going to completely butcher um that play of words by the end of this. Uh but hey, why not? Um Fremont. Fremont has the ball. Let's see what she's going to throw it in. We'll see. Fremo, I was reading about Fremo. She's very highly touted player. Actually, she's from France, from Nantes. Actually, she was a big part of Nantes um, being promoted to Division One of France. Very um, very experienced in other clubs as well. She's played with Lille. She's played with Strasbourg. She's even played for France under 16, 17, and 20. Um, Yeah, she's the other interesting thing I read about her. She is actually featured in the EA Sports the FIFA 25, um, which is very. I mean, it's she's probably one of the few players I'd say with from an NSL. But yeah, very experienced player. Very young too. She's only 23, so I think it's a um very shrewd signing by the Tide. She's young, she is experienced already, even though she's 23. So, and being a right back, she's an attacking right back. So I can see what they saw in him, saw in her. But the only issue is the international player thing. So that'll be something to watch. But I was very much expecting her to play, um, before the lineup came out. So not surprised. We haven't missed much. It's pretty much being played in the midfield. Tide struggling massively to hold on to the ball in midfield. They really need to come up with a better plan for Nakamura, Marika Gue, and Jones Dotier. Those three have to start getting involved a lot more because they really are not able to keep any possession in midfield. They keep losing it, which obviously doesn't help the offense. They barely get the ball. So this has been quite the start, though. Quite the start for the Wild. Once again, they have the ball on the right hand side. And another corner for the Wild. I wonder how many set pieces Wild have gotten this half. This is yeah, this is just another level of set piece concessions. Like seriously, taking Stewart, taking the corner. Let's see. again short, but but the ball's put in, loops up, and Mandy. Oh, yeah. Moore's once again. Moore has been so involved, even though she's a center back. I love how she is. She is so hungry to get the ball and try to score. Once again, she is the first one going up to head that ball, which is like looping over in the box, and just in front of the goalkeeper. But this time Moore couldn't get a good header on it. I am so in love with how the intensity that she brings. Uh, she's a classic center back. Someone who can lead from the back, someone who can really have a you know imposing presence in the box. And once again, another corner for Wild for this time from the left. Very weak header though this time, partly because of pressure, and goes to McLeod. Yeah, big fan of Michaela Moore. She's I mean, she's also one of those more experienced players that the league has. I mean, she has almost more than 60 caps for New Zealand. She's played in 3 Olympic games, which is crazy. Um and she's even scored uh I think she scored um a couple of goals too, if I'm not mistaken. Though what I did read though, she's had a hat trick of own goals um, in a single match. And I remember because that was against the U.S. Uh, in a single match, she scored 3 own goals, which is kind of crazy. So for all the good things I've been saying about Michaela Moore, uh, that is an interesting thing. I know I remember, but yeah, she's played for a lot of good clubs. She's played for Liverpool. She's played for Glasgow. Um, she's quite the good deal for the Wild for sure. And yeah, this game itself, she's been everywhere. So that's the half to be that we've come to, and it's 3-0 to the Wild. Quite the Wild start with more starting the scoring, and then Doherty Howard with a goal from outside the box, and then eventually you had Callie Johnson scoring from another. I think this was a short range goal easily. Wild, yes, keep those coming. I feel like the Wild, uh, the Wild joke is not is gonna get tiring very quickly. I mean, I'll be the first one to be guilty of that. So completely with you, Marty, on that. Man, but I mean, hey, what can I do? They've named themselves Wild. And they're playing such wildly amazing game, like good soccer. You're asking for it, man. But yeah, no. Since it's the half right now and we have a bit of a break, I'm I was just talking about Michaela Moore. Also, I think there was a mention of Ali Green. That she's another exciting player. Seriously, that I think what NSL has done is really go out and um, recruit not just from the US or from Europe, but also from other parts. Like, I love how they've gone out and recruited from the A League. They've recruited from New Zealand. I mean, Ali Green is a great example of that, right? So she was with Sydney. She was I think she was in Norway as well. And then eventually she was at Denmark, where they picked her up from. She's played with Australia in under 20, though that after that she did switch over to New Zealand, which was quite an interesting story. Uh, but yeah, she's played. She was part of the Olympics last year. I remember seeing her playing in that as well. So yeah, great work by the NSL, getting players like Moore and Ali Green, and not just restricting yourself to Europe or the US, just NWSL. Callie Johnson, is another example. Great addition. Uh, wait, you're Ali's dad? I really hope that's true. That is, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, Marty. Oh my God, I'm so glad to be. I mean, it's a privilege to be watching her, and thank you to you and the whole family for for facilitating everything for her to get to this stage. So really, really, hats off to you, hats off to the family, and hats off to her. Very inspiring. Um, that's amazing. Maybe I would love to know more about Sydney. I was actually in Sydney 2 years back for the World Cup. I wonder, Marty, if you had gone to the game, any of the games in the Women's World Cup in 23. I'm curious now. Um, but yeah, I had such a great time. I was in Sydney, and I was I also went to New Zealand. I saw a game in Wellington, one in Auckland, and the semifinals. I think it was in Sydney. Yeah, if I remember it right. Can Yeah. Well, there was a game, Australia game in Brisbane when Australia got knocked out in Brisbane, the quarterfinals. I remember that one. I went to that. But then I think it was the semifinals in Sydney, uh, which I did also go for the watch party. Great time, great time. But um, but yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, Collie Johnson, that was the other big star from from down under, which I'm really impressed by. She's super young. She's obviously on the scoreboard today, but like she's I'm not surprised. She was very good in that first game, and it's insane that um that I read somewhere that she was a coach, like a youth coach, uh at just 19, and that just shows the amount of maturity that she has to be able to coach a team, even if it's a youth team, to be able to coach an actual football club. uh that's amazing. Yeah, she's played also with Australia for under 20. She's played in the under 20 World Cup as well, both World Cups, 22 and 24. Great work, Wild. Great work recruiting, um, not just from the NWSL and Europe, but also from outside. Uh, well, coming back to a little closer to home, I do I do think the couple of other ones that I've found interesting was I think I already talked about Karima Lemire, because obviously she's from Montreal, so go Montreal. But the other one was I remember thinking about uh, Marika Guay. She's from Saint Lambert. She's the Halifax Tides player, and she's another story of coming back home, pretty much. Like going away for so many years. I mean, she played in NCAA. She played in Metz in France, and she came back to Longueuil and played in Longueuil, which is where she got picked up from. What interested me about her was there was pretty much the Quebec market was pretty much understood as like a monopoly for the Roses, which I'm not complaining as a Roses fan, but I was very surprised to see that the Tides were able to tap into that market and go for a player like Way, which is which is good to see. Like, I think over time we're gonna have really interesting stories, like, oh, the Tides have poached the player that played for Wild last year, and things like that. That which we see in NWSL, and to a much bigger extent that we see in the European men's leagues, where there's like transfer sagas and all those things. I can't wait for things like that, those happening. Um, oh, okay. Uh, Oriana is saying she was in Auckland for the World Cup. Was the Oriana, remind me again if the opening game, well, it was a New Zealand game, right? Because I was there for the first US game, but I can't remember if it was like the second day or the third day. I was in Auckland, for sure, but I can't remember how early it was. But New Zealand, I remember. I think the first game was New Zealand versus someone else. Um, I hope you had a great time though, Oriana. Uh, and yeah, both games. Okay, yeah, that's actually true. There were two games for our first day. That's right. New Zealand, Norway. Okay, that now it's kind of coming back to me as well. Sweet. Yeah, no, it was a great tournament. Amazing. I hope you had a great time as well. I wonder if you went to the Australian side as well. Amazing tournament. I was so glad that Australia made it so far. Um, just made the whole experience even more, memorable. Yam, are both games streaming tomorrow? I'm pretty sure they are. I saw somewhere on the Reddit that the other it's kind of sad that the Halifax game is not being streamed, and then I went and checked the other games, and it was kind of funny that pretty much this is the only game that is not listed as um as not having a stream. I mean, every other game has some stream in there. Let me go check again and confirm that, but I'm pretty sure. Let's see, schedule. Let's see. Tomorrow's game, Ottawa and Toronto, TSN and ESPN Plus. Oh my God. Come on, NSL. You're killing me. So I'm sorry. I stand corrected. The Ottawa game, there's no streaming. But the Vancouver and Roses game, there is streaming. It's streaming on Gem and NSL.ca. So just this is something that was on Reddit as well. So just to be clear, the way they have mentioned the streaming thing is someone said it. All games not on traditional TV will be live on NSL. So the challenge is TSN is traditional TV. So since it's on TSN, it won't be on NSLCA. And if it's so there is no streaming, and then below that they say every streamed match will also be available on NSLCA, which is really not much of a thing because if it's already being streamed, that means it's available on Gem most likely, which is the other streaming platform at Gem and TSN Plus. So if it's in on either of them, you can already stream for free. Gem is free. So why would you even need NSLCA? Right? So it kind of doesn't make any sense that every streamed match will also be available on NSLCA. I'm like, yeah, but I'm talking about the games that are not streamed. Can you give that to me on NSLCA? That's when it really becomes valuable. So short answer, Yam, the Toronto game will not be the first game. Ottawa Toronto game will not be streamed. Second game will be. Um, yes, yes, I was there for that one. Yeah. Oh, that's such a small world. Though I think that's what the whole feeling was for me with that whole tournament. It was a small world. I had multiple friends who were traveling, and I kept running. I kept running into different groups across the tournament. Uh, and I made a lot of good friends that I didn't know from before as well. So great, great, great time. I hope you had a great time as well. Um, yeah, great time. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Can't come fast enough. It's in 2 years. Brazil this time. My friends and I we were planning a trip, but we'll see. Um, Too early, but I'm very, very excited for it. Uh, Let me take this time to update the Reddit so that everyone else is also updated. We could also read some of the Reddit comments as well. Let's see. So, three, we have more. We had another goal at 7 minutes by Doherty Howard. And then at 26 minutes, we had another goal by Cully Johnson. Let's see. Uh oh, thank somebody commented. Thanks so much for hosting the watch along. Yeah, of course. My pleasure. Whatever medium can help people follow along is, as always, um, always what we can do. But yeah, so I think those are I've updated the match updates on Reddit, so hopefully people can see that. Um, in the meantime, let's let me go learn a little bit more about the players. I am very intrigued by some of the players here. So I was talking about Marika Guay, who is from Quebec, and we talked about her for a little bit. The other player that I was also intrigued, another international player, is the captain of the Tides, Gunildur, but she goes by Gunny Jonsdottir. I hope I'm saying the name right. But she is from Iceland, and she's another incredibly experienced player. She's had over 100 caps. She's played in the NWSL. She's played in all pretty much all the European leagues, I would say. Um, yeah, like she's played for the Utah Royals in NWSL. She's played for the Pride. Um, Incredible experience. She's 36. She is on the older side for the Tides. She's also played more than 100 times for the national team of Iceland as well. Scored 14 goals. Played in multiple World Cup qualifiers. Played in Euros. Yeah, it's insane how much experience she has. And yeah, oh yeah, and she's married to Aaron McLeod, the goalkeeper. Obviously, she doesn't need any introduction, Aaron. But yeah, I think they just had a baby last year. So congrats to them, and another great addition. I think Tide. I am overall very impressed by the way they have recruited. But as I think as Marty said, I think someone said it, the challenge right now is it's their first game, so it's gonna take them some time to kind of gel together a little bit, kind make it um make it easier for each other to uh predict their moves. So we'll see. Anyways, the second half has kicked off again, so we'll see what the Tide can do, if the Tide's gonna ebb or flow. Sorry about that. So we'll see. We'll see. I think what I'm looking forward to is the Tide being better in midfield. Really, that's it. I mean, I'm not expecting too much from them. 3-0 is a lot for Tide to uh, you know overcome. So I'm not really saying that they can do that, but I would be very, very happy if they can maintain the score line till the end of the game by being a lot more disciplined in midfield. So it will be very interesting to see. The Wild have started on the right hand side, just like last time. Um, they are pretty strong on the right hand side. I think that's mainly because of Doherty Howard playing on the right hand side, and um, most of the time. I mean, she's bossing the midfield pretty much everywhere, but she does play a lot more on the right hand side. Um, I think what ends up happening on the right hand side is Thurton, Howard, and Sturdy can kind of can play um, through the defense or play through that right hand side. They are teaming up or ganging up against that left hand side of the Tide, and that just makes it hard for them to do anything because Sturdy is going up from the right back position. Howard is giving them an inlet pass, and then Thurton is able to make that incisive run behind the defense of the Tide. So that right hand side becomes very dangerous for the Tide. Once again, um, guess who has the ball? Well, actually, that's not true because the Wild lost the ball in their own half for a change this time. That was good. That was actually good pressing by the Tide in their up top, which is good, but a little too aggressive, I would say. But still, the the intent is there. They're able to press a little bit more. Okay, it is interesting for me to see that the Wild have kind of changed over to three in the back, which I wonder if. Never mind. That's just Storty being Storty. Storty is an interesting player because she is very brave. She makes a lot of runs from the right back position, which, by the way, I love right backs who can pretty much play as wing backs. It is really fun to watch. So I do love Storty doing that. I just always am worried when a right back tries to play wing back, of them not coming back and defending. So, but I am impressed by Storty overall. Meanwhile, the Tide are trying to make something happen on their right hand side through. I'm pretty sure it's Fremo and Miller. Yeah, Fremo has the ball right now. Let me see if they've made any changes specifically at the half. I'm pretty sure I saw Boulain come in, so I wonder if that was part of a change. Okay, so there have been two changes. Oduro has been taken off, and Sarah Taylor has come in for Oduro, which is very interesting. I wasn't expecting Sarah Taylor to come in this early, and Michaela Moore has exited the game, and let's see, Tilly James has come in for Michaela Moore. So I wonder if that is just more of a conservative substitution to just preserve. Michaela Moore did sustain a head injury. She did play through it. She she was going to the sideline a few times. So I wonder if that's because of that. So Michaela Moore's gone out for Tilly James. Meanwhile, Tide has a corner from the right hand side, puts the ball in. Oh, off the crossbar and then in. Tap in pretty much. Pretty much a tap in. That first header itself should have gone in, but at least that's something. That's a good start. That's a good start for the Tide on the second half. Good corner. I think it was Sarah Miller who got the header, if I'm not mistaken. We'll find out. No, it was Guay, Marika Guay. Great work by Marika Guay. Just pounces into the ball. So the ball comes in. There was a header which rattles off the crossbar, comes out, and then falls to Marika Guay, who could have like buckled under the pressure of the defender right behind her, but she didn't. She stuck with it and pretty much put the ball in from maybe like 4 yards out. So that was pretty good. Really good use of the set piece for the first time by the Tide. The set piece was on point. They put the ball in the right way, into the right places. I do think Bukovic could have done a little better with coming out and attacking the ball a little bit more. But hey, I'm not the one who's playing in the NSL, so what do I know? So great work by overall by Mariko Guay. So we will update the score to 3-1. All right, 3-1. Okay, let's find out what kind of changes have been made. As I said, two changes have been made, one on each side. We have Tilly James, who came in for Michaela Moore. James for Moore. And then we have, I think we have Oduro out and Taylor in. Sarah Taylor comes in for Oduro. All right. I wonder what Taylor can do though, because they really need to uh, cash in on this momentum. Though in the meantime, the Wild have done a good job of holding on to the ball in the Tide's half. They're playing very high line, which is interesting. The Wild defense is pretty much in the other half. That's how high they're playing. Uh, very very good to see in a way, because like they are leading by 2 goals, but they don't want to take it too easy. They're taking the game to the Tide still, which I wouldn't have kind of expected to be the other way. Usually, I mean, you would expect the team to kind of sit back and kind of park the bus a little bit, but while they're able to or are willing to be a lot more aggressive, which is good. Though that also gives Tide something to sniff at. Like it's gonna give them some chances if they are brave enough. That said, once again, they're in a familiar territory. Tide have given away a free kick 30 yards out. Ball comes in by Doherty Howard, but this time it finds a Tide head and gets played out of the box. Though it's still not away from danger, though. Great work by Johnson, fighting for the ball. Didn't get it eventually. It kind of went out for a, a goal kick. Good defense by the Tide. Okay, let's see. The Tide are playing the ball from the back. Good play, good ball on the right hand side, up the right hand side, but then the ball is lost. And once again, guess who has the ball? It's Doherty Howard in the midfield. Kaylee Johnson, Doherty Howard in the box. Oof. Yeah, Doherty Howard is easily the player of the match, I would say, till this point. She has she's everywhere. She's playing on, you know, she's playing attacking midfield. She's dropping down to get the ball from the defense. And once again, all right. And once again, she's the one who's carrying the ball into the box and plays it to Griffith. Yeah, Doherty Howard is. It's not surprising, but yes, yes. First goal. I have to say, yeah, I should have made that a point. First ever goal for Halifax. It goes into the history books. Um, Marika Gui does. I loved that. Yeah, that's. I remember thinking about it last week on Wednesday when Quinn scored. Oh my God, that had to be written in the stars almost. The first ever goal for NSL scored by Quinn. Anyways, another corner for the Wild, which guess who? Doherty Howard takes it and doesn't really place it well inside the box. So it gets cleared. Yeah, no, great work by Mark Aguay there. Very opportunistic, but that's what you need in the 6 yard box. You really need to be at the right time at the right place there. So very good to see that. Um, all right, so I'm just observing the again because there hasn't been much happening in the midfield because the ball has been in the midfield for the most time. But I'm just observing the formation that Tide is playing with right now with the change that they've made. They've brought in Sarah Taylor in place of Oduro. Little bit understandable. They didn't really create a lot of chances. So it'll be interesting to see what Sarah Taylor does. They're still playing 4-3-3. So we'll see. We'll see if they are able to create anything with that. Yeah, I mean Sarah Taylor is also a former Canada U20 international. So and she's played her most of her professional career in Israel. So not a lot of experience, but definitely uh, there's some potential there. I think what they're doing is Nakamura is playing a lot more up top now. So she's joined. So Nakamura is now basically taken up the position of Oduro, and which is the number 7. You have Sarah Miller on the right wing and Sid Kennedy on the left wing. Those are still the same. Just Nakamura has been pushed up, and in her place, you have Sarah Taylor playing alongside Yoon Stotier and Mariko Gui. At least that's what it looks like. I'm a little bit quiet because there hasn't been much happening in the game, but yeah, I'm just trying to keep track of the changes that the two teams have made in formations, and most of it has just been the offensive change that Tide has made and the defensive change that um, the Wild has made. Speaking of, there is another change. Nakamura comes off, and now it is um, I think it's Daphne Bluan comes in for Nakamura. Uh, I think she's probably end up going to end up. Well, it's interesting. She is a midfielder, but uh, they've taken off a striker and put Nakamura in pretty much a number 7 position, and then they took out Nakamura herself and put in a midfielder. So they've essentially have taken out a striker at this point, the Tide. So I wonder how that's going to work out because they do need more attacking prowess. I wonder if Daphne Blouin is more of a attacking threat. So we'll see. So I'm going to update the Reddit thread here just to make sure people are aware of the 3 changes that have happened till this point. You have um, Blouin in uh, and Nakamura out. You have Oduro out and Taylor in. So as we speak, the Wild have a corner, and Rolsma is going to take it, which is interesting. This is the first time I'm seeing Rolsma take the corner, so we'll see how she is able to do. It's almost always been Doherty Howard. Uh, so well, let's see. Rolsma takes the corner. Good ball in. Very good ball in. Bounces in the box, but gets cleared away. Uh, Comes out to a Wild player, and the ball is back in the box, but no, not much of a threat, and gets played out for a throw. That is that was not much of a threat there. It's back to the Tides. I don't think I'm not surprised that the Wild have not made any subs except for that more sub, which I feel is more of an injury sub than anything else. So they really didn't have to make it. I mean, Moore is, as I was saying previously, is an amazing player. So she's a rock in the defense. So it probably, I wouldn't say probably, it's very likely that it is a injury sub. Well, at least for a change, the Tide has been keeping the ball in the Wild half, which is good. We will see if they're able to sustain this pressure and for how long. All right, Tide has the ball in defense. Oh, but they concede another free kick in their half. I mean, I am losing track of how many times the Tide have conceded a free kick in their half. This is just another level of, you know, indiscipline. That there was a it was a jump ball. 2 players go in, and Fremont really should not have gone for that ball. I mean, that is just lack of discipline there to give away such a cheap free kick, barely 15 yards outside the box. And it is either, I was gonna say Ali Green, but Doherty Howard, as usual, will be taking it. I mean, it's a lot more central than most of the other free kicks that they've got. So I would be very interested to see where she goes. She takes it, loops it into the box, and it's a foul on on a Tide player, and that really saves them. Oh, that's another. That's another reprieve for the Tide. Really, that could have been a lot better. It was just a looping ball into the penalty spot, pretty much. And as we speak, the Wild have got the ball back in the Tide half. They dispossessed uh, the Tide, and I think it was Storty who got a shot in, but got deflected away for a corner. Another lack of discipline for the Tide in their own half. They lose the ball. They get stripped off the ball. The defense does, and concede another big chance, which the Wild don't really make use of. But Rolsma again takes the corner, puts the ball in, very good corner in, headed away, and the goal, the keeper and Thurton kind of come together. So um, it's for now it's just a free kick inside the box. It is funny, like McLeod, the way she falls and then she gets up and then she falls again. I wonder. It's looked funny though. I really hope it's nothing worse than what it looks. It looked funny in the sense that she stood up and then she looked around and then she went down. So it almost looked like she was just flopping. I guess I've watched too much European leagues, so it shows. But anyways, I am very impressed by the set piece taking by the Wild. Like the set pieces have been very good. There have been multiple corners that have been very dangerous. There have been multiple set pieces. Obviously, two of them were converted into goals. Though that also makes me wonder, if not for the set pieces, if the Wild could have actually done a lot better in offense. If I'm thinking out loud and being very critical of the Wild, I haven't seen a lot of chances be created which are from open play through the center. There have been a couple of occasions where we have seen Kelly Johnson and Thurton be dangerous, but yeah, I can't remember Sarah Griffith from the middle being a threat. I can't remember, uh, you know, yeah, I can't remember Griffith being a threat at all. So that's something they need to work on. They should probably think about. They have been very good with the chances they've gotten from the set pieces, which is more very like all credit to them. But if I'm Wild, I'll be looking at that. I'll be like, okay, why is Griffith not even getting on the ball? Why are we not able to create chances through the middle in open play? Right. So, anyways, maybe that's for another day if this is how Tide continues to play because they have not been good. Um, Haley Boakes comes in for Thurton. I think she came in last time too. Um, she came in last time too. Had a pretty good first game, I would say. She was a bit of a threat. She had a few good runs on the wing, so we'll see how she's played this time. She did play a lot more on the wing last time. I am very impressed by the attendance that Halifax has. A lot of people, very good attendance in general. I wonder how many people in all they had, but really good attendance for sure. All right, so we have guess who? Dougherty Howard on the ball and a great header in. Oh, It was a good header in. It's not cleared, and they get one more shot in Wild, but and it was Bloan who got the shot in, but didn't really didn't really have much power on it. Yet again, set pieces. Yet again, set pieces. I mean, I still can't remember the last time the Wild created an open play chance. Not that they need to. They are doing pretty well in defense, partly because the Tides have not really mustered up too many of their own. But I would be concerned with lack of open play chances. All right, so we are pretty much we're pretty much playing in the midfield at this point, back and forth, and let's see. Okay, once again back to the Wild here. I'm just gonna look up Sarah Taylor's number here. So she's 14. The reason I'm quiet is has there hasn't been much going on except for there was one very uh not so strong shot from outside the box there from Sid Kennedy, which didn't go anywhere. But other than that, it's been all pretty much a midfield grind at this point. As we speak, Wild gets called off for an offside through Kelly Johnson on the left hand side. Good run. I like the eye she has for those runs. She's been an absolute uh, engine on that left hand side, and so it's been good to see. All right, so we have two more changes. We have Lemire coming in, Karima Lemire, who we talked about earlier. Um, and then I think it's Gianna Gianna Creighton. I wonder who they're coming in for though. Let's see. Lemire and Creighton have come in. We'll see who they're coming in for. While there's, I think, um, okay, yeah. So Lemire is coming in for Norcus. So and then I wonder who Creighton came in for. Um, let's see. They're a little behind on the official app, so we'll see. I think Lemire. We talked about Lemire. She is as we talked about. She is from Montreal. She's a local girl for me, but very, um, very experienced, I would say, because she has played for Canada under 17, as well as in European league. She's coming from Portugal. Uh, as in the most recent club she's played for was in Portugal. She's played in Germany. She's played in for Potsdam. She's played in, as I mentioned, Portugal. She's played in the CONCACAF under 17 championship, under 17 World Cup. So very experienced. She's even got a bachelor in administration actually from UCAM, which is very close to where I'm based. So great talent. And the other one who comes in is Gianna Creighton. She's as I mentioned, she was on the radar. But she for the Portland Thorns last year, she went for training to the Thorns, and so she was definitely highly rated. And she's played NCAA Division One. That's how she got into their radar. So very talented uh, young player that I think if she's on the radar of an NWSL team, there's something there. So Gianna Creighton comes in, though I'm still not sure who she replaced exactly. Yeah, it's Guay who goes out. So Guay goes out and Creighton comes in, and on the other side, Norcus goes out and Lemire comes in for the Tide. So interesting changes. We'll see how these changes will stack up though, because they are um, not where I thought they would be, because they are all midfield and defense changes, which at this point you would think that you would want to have more presence in the attack. Though Lemire is a midfield, so they've taken out Norcus, who is a defender, and put in a midfielder. So probably Ali Green, I think, comes out. Yeah, Ali Green does come out for um, Madison Wilson. Yes, Ali Green comes out for Madison Wilson, uh, which also is an interesting sub. I mean, Ali had an injury, seemed like she was down for a little bit. I hope she's all right. I really, I mean, she's been a great presence on that left hand side for the Wild. So I hope she's all right. Though, meanwhile, Madison Wilson comes in. So we'll talk about Madison Wilson in a second here, because the Tide somehow mustered up a small drive on the right hand side, but didn't last for too long. So yeah, Madison Wilson is also from the U.S. Again, very promising college career. Played for the Iowa Hawkeyes in the U.S. And lots of energy. Very young. So she's from Calgary, actually. So native Calgarian. So it's always nice to see a native, someone who gets to play in their own backyard in front of their family and friends. So great to see. So yeah, Madison Wilson comes in for Ali Green. A huge shout out to Ali Green's dad, who was on our stream a little bit earlier. It was crazy. So it's a small world. All right, so I think the game's going to open up a little bit more, because the Wild have also made changes in the sense that they have put in players who are much more offense minded. So we will see how that will play out. I do think that right now it's pretty much the game's gone in management mode. The Wild are pretty much just managing the game somehow, and not really giving anything away for the Tide to do with. Um, but then at the same time, I would say like managing a game involves the other team doing something when they get the ball, which the Tide have not done at all. There's been very less. very less uh, output or production from the Tide. Let's be honest. We have seen some changes. We've seen Creighton come in. We've seen um, I think we have seen Lemire come in. None of these changes have done anything of note till this point. So I don't know how much credit goes to the the Wild for that. Oh, the Wild loses the ball in the midfield and gives it back. Oh, the Tide loses the ball in the 40-yard line around and gives the ball to, I think it's Kelly Johnson, and she just places the ball into the net. Like, it was a good finish. Yeah, it's Kelly Johnson. She just places the ball past the keeper with a really deft finish. It's just a looping ball that she doesn't go for power. She goes for placement. The goalkeeper is way out of her line, and both of them, the defender and the goalkeeper, don't help each other at all, at all. So Kylie Johnson with a brace. Great day at work for Kylie Johnson. Um, Absolutely, Marty. I'm glad that it helps. That was the whole intention behind this. I'm glad that you can join and watch Ali play so well, and also the Wild play so well. They are up by 3 now. They're up to 4, and I don't have to change anything because it's Johnson again. Though I do have to put the time. I think it's about 80 minutes. We'll get confirmation on that. So yeah, Johnson gets another goal. Great work by Johnson to press the defender, and but not such a not at all great work by the defender to lose it. She really could have passed it to the other center back, which she didn't, and just gave the ball away to Johnson, who did an amazing job of finishing it. Though it required a lot of finishing, which she did by just looping the ball over the keeper who was off the line by a mile. She was pretty much in Montreal, the keeper. She was away from Halifax that far, and yeah, Johnson does the rest and puts the ball in the net. Tegan Stewart, I think, comes out. O'Neill comes in. I'm pretty sure O'Neill is was benched as a as more of a health thing than anything else. Because she is now on for the last 6 minutes. O'Neill was a huge presence last game. Um, so yeah, it's a like for like substitution between Stewart and O'Neill. I did not catch the other one. I think it was one more sub for the Wild. We'll catch that in a second here. But yeah, for now, Sonia O'Neill comes in midfield. She's going to pretty much do the single pivot role in front of defense like she did last time. She comes in for Tegan Stewart. Okay, yeah. Jordy Howard is the other sub that came out. She's pretty much the player of the match at this point. Absolute star. Meanwhile, Tide gets a corner. Oh, sorry, a free kick from pretty much the 30-yard line. Not a bad ball at all, but nobody at the end of it. Just sails through and goes out for a goal kick, I think. Oh, that's just woefully close to uh, a couple of the Tide players, but nobody at the end of it. Not a bad ball at all. That's much better from the Tide on free kicks. I mean, they need to do still a lot better in getting to the end of it, but not bad. That ball was from Karima Lemire, by the way, and yeah, very good ball. And meanwhile, the Wild has the ball in midfield. Sonia. Oh, and once again, McLeod. I wonder if she's not happy in Halifax because she is so far away from the goal that she might as well be in Montreal. It's insane. She was once again very far out from the box, almost gave the ball away to the striker there. I think it was Cully Johnson again, and that was scary. I I wonder. Oh, let me see if I can just. I think my stream just froze, so I'll just be back in 1 second here. Um, okay, yeah. So it is right now an injury break. I think it's Emma Framo who's down, so they were taking a break here. So in the meantime, just a very quick recap on the subs. We have Karima Lemire who came in for Norcus, Kylie Norcus. Gianna Creighton came in the midfield for Marika Gui. We had on the wild side, we had O'Neill come in for Tegan Stewart. And then there was one more sub that I did not account for, which was Christy Gray comes in for Sarah Griffith. Yes. Which, yeah, I think if I'm a Wild fan, I would be worried about Sarah Griffith and the lack of production from the center or the middle part of the attack. Like I think both Kaylee Johnson and uh, Thurton as well have been doing pretty well. I am very happy with both of them, but they have not created anything in the middle of the field, the Wild. So if I'm a Wild fan, I will be very, very concerned about that. Because if you go up against a better team, which they did last time, also I would say Toronto is another one. It would be a lot tougher. They're not gonna get these simple free kicks every time to score off of. So Wild needs to come up with a better strategy. Meantime, the Tide gets a decent chance of inside the box, but uh, don't do much with it. And so going to the other side, speaking of the Tide really comes down to their they need to work on a lot of their rapport and just interpersonal passing and connections because they really don't know where each other are going to be. They don't know what kind of passes they're going to get, and they're just no structure. So it's a lot of work that they need to do. Not super surprising. I did think that Tide will have a bit of a tough time to be competitive in the league. Even if they were going to be competitive, did not think that they would be a contender. So in a lot of ways, I think uh, they are they are work in progress. So it takes time, but if I were Lewis Page, Tide's coach, my I'd be looking at how to how to get my midfield involved. It's not about the offense. The offense can only do something if the ball finally is carried into the third by the midfield. And right now the midfield was non-existent. Mariko Gui, uh, Jon Stoutier, with all the experience, I would have expected a lot more from her. That didn't happen. And then Marika Gui not being present at all, Nakamura as well. So that's where I would focus on being a lot more. Maybe change something in midfield, add someone else who can keep the ball a lot more, be a lot more present with the ball. That's what I would do. But in the meantime, nothing much has changed. That's why I was kind of remarking those things because it's still in the midfield, and the Tide is pretty much out of their depth. They're out. They're really. Uh, not sure how to even muster up a chance, which plays into the Wild's plans. They're happy to let the let the Tide take the ball and not do anything because that just makes their life much easier. They don't even have to manage the game, right? So, uh, yeah, this is pretty much you know ending in a whimper at this point. The way the game started, I think it was an amazing game. We had some very interesting. We had a very interesting 10 minutes. First 10 minutes was absolute chaos to the extent that I also messed up the two teams. So that it was that crazy, but right now it's just ending in a whimper. Uh, and guess how? Another free kick to the Wild outside the box. I mean, this must have been like maybe the 100th free kick that the Wild are getting, which I'm guessing is going to be taken by Rolfsma. Rolfsma is taking the ball, kick into the box, low kick into the box, but it gets cleared away out to the 40-yard line, but like a long shot by I think Stordy goes wayward. Didn't go anywhere that chance, but that is pretty much the story of the game. Really, I mean, it's kind of maybe another 5 or 3 minutes more to go. The story of the game has been really about set pieces being given away by Tide because of their lack of discipline, and that those set pieces being taken advantage of by the Wild. The Wild haven't created anything else, I would say, at least not that I can remember of, and it has just played into their arms really. The it's just the wildlife very wildlife. It's just made the life of the Wild way easier, um, because they really didn't have to create anything. I think except for that last goal, the last goal by Johnson was a piece of art, good finishing, great a striker's goal. Though that said, it was also um, a terrible mistake on the back line. So I would say pretty much all the goals that Wild scored were more a problem with the Tides than literally Wild playing their best game. So the scoreline might actually be very um, flattering for the Wild. I mean, it's definitely not an understatement for the Tides. They have played terribly, but it's a lot more flattering for the Wild. The Oh my God, the Wild goalkeeper Bukovic was almost imitating McLeod on the other side by coming out way outside the box and just you know playing a short pass. But anyways, that pretty much ends the game. By the way, we are at full time of the game. Halifax 1, Calgary Wild 4, and that means the Calgary Wild get their first win of their history and first win of the season. Amazing work by the Wild. Uh, Partly because of not so amazing start by the Tides. The Tides really struggled. It showed in a number of ways. It showed in the discipline. It showed in the lack of rapport that they had with each other, which I'm thinking will come with time. So I really wish them the best to to work on it and to keep believing. If if we can have a nationwide women's league come to fruition, anything can happen. So if I'm the Tides, that's what I would tell myself, that keep believing. I'm sure you'll get there someday or very soon. But if I'm the Wild, I'd be very happy. I do need to work on a lot of the finishing, especially through the middle, as I mentioned. Sarah Griffith, that is a point of concern. But otherwise, it was a pretty easy day in the office for the Wild. So congratulations to the Wild once again, first win of their history, first win of the season, and yeah. But with that, I think thank you for all of you for joining in. I was very, very. It was a privilege to have all of y'all. I don't know if there are still people in the chat, but or if there are still people watching. But I really, really appreciate each one of you joining in. I wish NSL gets their, gets their game together and starts putting in um, streaming for a lot of these games. But yeah, I hope this helps some of the Halifax fans with another option that they didn't have because of lack of streaming. If not, I'll see you guys next week. I'm not gonna do the Roses live stream tomorrow, as I will be away, and also since I did a live stream for this game, I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. But I will be back next week. Most likely, it will be the Roses game, which I think is on a Sunday. Not might be mistaken, but it most likely will be the Roses game. If not, you will hear from me on the Reddit threads, and you'll know. You'll see. But in the meantime, I until I see you guys next time, be good, be kind, and be you. Take care. Thanks, Oriana. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Thank you.